Hey YouTube, it's Vince here. I just finished up a nice 20-minute run after work. We've got a little bit of rain, so it's keeping me cool. I'm just glad I can get outside most of the days now because work's a little bit less on the hours. Today's topic is all about making it easier to go out and run. So anyone who doesn't like running right now, maybe only runs once a week and wants to run more, or someone who's just struggling to get out the door and start their run, this is the perfect video for you. So without further ado, I'll take you to the classroom. It's getting cold and windy and raining more out here. See you inside.
Alright, it's much warmer in here, so let's get started. Tip number one is you're going to want to find yourself an accountability partner. This could be anyone that runs as well, and you're just going to tell them how your run goes every day. They're going to begin to see like, oh, they're running consistently, like I better start running too, or I better keep up with them. They've ran 14 days in a row, so I gotta run 14 days in a row now too. You can have mini competitions between you and your friends to see how many days in a row you can go on your runs, and that'll be a huge help for getting to be more consistent with your runs without even having to worry about mileage or minutes that you're putting in, but just starting your runs overall. Tip number two is you want to find a time every day that you can work out at the same time. This will be helpful because it'll just become a habit and routine. So as soon as you come home from work, you can say, okay, I'm not going to eat supper, I'm going to go for my run first, and then as soon as I come back, then I'll eat my supper. That way, you don't have any digestive problems with food in your stomach while you're running. Morning also works well, but then you don't have the food from earlier in the day for energy, so you'll get a little bit more tired. That's what I've found with my running. But make sure that you have a time set every day that you can run at consistently, so it becomes a habit and it's more natural. Oh, I'm back from work, I go for my run. For tip number three, it's the simplest one. If you're ever just on the fence and don't know if you want to run or not today, just put on your shoes and step outside. Once you're in that position, you have pretty much nothing else you can do, so you'll probably just go on your run. You've made it that far. It's the first step. You're ready to go for your run. Finally, if those tips just aren't doing it for you to start your run, you'll just have to evaluate within your head why running is important to you to begin with. If it's not that important, you're not going to run most likely. But if you can find a reason why you want to run, if you want to live longer, have a healthier heart, lose weight, or if you just want to eat more throughout the day and not have to worry, you just need to come up with your reason why it's important, and that will be your groundwork for working harder on your runs in the future. At the end of this video, I'm going to have a 10 to 15 minute workout that you can repeat every day for 3 weeks, and it'll be really simple. It'll build in with that consistent running time that you have set, and it'll just become automatic for you to do. This is really to help you just fall in love with the sport of running, because it's such a great activity that I hope everyone can learn to enjoy it. Alright, now that you're on your run, I have a couple tips that'll help you extend the run or be able to get more out of it with as little mental strength as possible. Tip number one, don't wear a watch or don't look at your watch while you're running. It really doesn't matter, especially when you're starting out, how you're doing. You don't need to be looking for progress. It's just fun, so enjoy it. Don't be worried about, oh, I'm not hitting my pace, or I was faster yesterday. You can wear a tracker if you want, but don't bother looking at that until the end of the week. After all your runs are done, you can look back and say, oh yeah, I felt a little bit slower that day. I forgot to stretch the day before, or whatever. Just make sure that you're not checking the time constantly, because runs always go slower when you do that. Tip number two, stretch after every workout. This isn't going to benefit you the day of the workout, it's for the day after. And so if you stretch the day before your next workout, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. Your legs are going to feel a lot more fresh. There's going to be a lot less lactic acid just sitting in your legs. So I recommend stretching after every run for at least 5 minutes just to get the next day's run a lot more enjoyable. Tip number 3. This is going to be very controversial to a lot of other YouTube videos that you might watch, but do the same route every day. You can have a route that goes through grass and pavement, but make sure that it's just the same route, because if you can think about your first commute to work, it seemed like a pretty long commute, a 20-minute commute. You notice everything that's new. It's just a long drive. But after you've done it for a couple of days, it seems to get shorter, and you hardly even remember your commute anymore. So this will be good, like if you're really trying to add more miles or minutes to your run. If you do the same route, it becomes like so subconscious that you don't even think about your route anymore. Like if you have to turn left or right or keep going straight, you notice every tree root that you've noticed before. You lose the novelty of it, of exploring a city or something. But if you really just want to have an easy run, this is how you do it. The same route every day, or at least have 2 or 3 routes that you know really well, and that'll make your run a lot easier. And finally, this is my back pocket tip. Tip number 4, we have do an out and back run. This is one of my favorite tips, because you can turn a 20-minute run into a 40-minute run just by running 20 minutes away from your house, and you have to come back. If you do a loop, you can cut through the loop and shorten it, but once you're 20 minutes away from your house, you can walk back the whole way, but you'll still get exercise. And you might as well run back, because you'll be back 3 times faster than walking. So if you want to have a nice long run, do it out and back. It's my favorite for being able to have more lengthy runs, but still only needing only a couple miles of road. And now for your sample workout. So this is a really simple workout. It's just 10 to 15 minutes a day, and I really want to emphasize this is for very new people, just to get into the habit of running. They're on the fence if they want to decide if they want to run or not more. So at this point, I wouldn't even say don't buy new shoes yet. You can just use your shoes that already have 300 miles on them from walking or standing, whatever, as long as they're semi-comfortable. You're only going to be running 10 minutes a day, so it'll be easy on your joints still. But you're just going to run for 5 minutes away from your house, same route every day, and run 5 minutes back. You'll do this after work or before work, whatever time frame you've set, and that'll be your whole workout. After you get back, make sure you stretch. Make sure to get the hamstrings are huge, and the quads, calves and IT bands if you can. But that's the whole workout. If you do that for 3 weeks and decide, hey, like I love running, like then you can buy yourself some nice shoes. You can ramp up the mileage or the speed. But until then, just take it easy, relax. Run as slow as you want to go. 10 minutes a day for 3 weeks. It's gonna do a lot of good for you, and I'm confident that you'll love running after those just 3 weeks of 10-minute runs. That's all I have for the YouTube video today. Thank you everyone for watching. I know it's a longer one, but I hope it had some good content for you, or at least a couple points that you can take out of it. I'll see you next time.